David here, week to week look. Today is Sunday, 3rd of December, 8:12 in the morning, looking at the May 2018 UK wheat chart, and we start with the yearly chart in front of us. I've just got a plain chart at the moment. We can see that the market's been falling back since hitting a high on this stitch together, this the May contract, 160, come back to test a low here, 142.50. I've identified a resistance support level here at 142. This goes back to 2012, 2009. It was acted as resistance in the early part of 2014, 2015. We broke through it 2016. We've then come down and we've tagged it at the moment, and we're testing that at the present moment. Let's pop down and look at it with the 60 SMA that we've identified as a key level. We can see that the price is below the 60 SMA and it's falling. Friday night's close 142.50. Pop down into the weekly chart, the monthly chart. We can see that the high was reached in July, and since then we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months falling market. Sorry, excuse me. This is the start of December, 42.50. Preceding November, we had a big red candle here. Pop down into the weekly. We can identify that the market has broken the 60 weekly moving average. We can see here that last week's candle was a reaction to testing at a low of 140, closed 42.50. We're in a downwards trend. We can cast our eye and see that quite clearly. Pop down into the daily. We can see here that we identified a range the last 2 months, high of 150, low of 142.50. We can see it was tested back in August, testing here in November. We've broken through it, large red candle, start of the week, and since then we've recovered up to it. 142.50, right on the level we closed. We would look for resistance come in at the 60 SMA around 144, but on this chart you'd be looking to say that any sort of rise at the present moment you'd be looking as a selling opportunity, because you've got a clear 2-month trend in place of falling market. You've broken through support, so any bounce would be seeing it as a selling opportunity. So that looks quite simple. Where it comes confusing is when you now start to look at a November chart, which we start with the daily at the present moment, and you can see here that we had a low in August, but we've had more of a sideways action, and the market is below this support line here, and we'd be looking the same as the old crop to look at as a selling opportunity. But the problem is at the moment you've got the November and the May contract at the same value. So let's go out and have a look on the November contract at the yearly picture. We can see this, the yearly picture. We've identified a support level 135. This was resistance back in 14, and at present on this chart we haven't broken the long-term support. So this is quite different. Let's put the 60 SMA on this chart. Oh, hang on, so I'm jumping about a bit. This is coming back to my plan, which I did on the 25th of June this year. This is working out on the November contract if we're looking at the new crop. So this is November 2017 this year, and I put a level that we look to test of 152. If you look to the right here, this is actually what took place, and obviously we can see that the market went up to 152, then came all the way back to test this support line which we identified 135. I've put retracements on this, and a 20% retracement of this move up from 110 to 152 comes at 142, and below that 136. So on the new crop chart, we are not broken support, and we are holding within our plan that we put in place this time in June of last year. We hit our target, it's coming back and it's holding support. So let's pop down and now see that chart with the 60 SMA. This is on the new crop, and that comes in at 139, and at the moment 142.10. So on the new crop, we are still holding above the 60 SMA and above long-term support at the present moment. So thing is an old crop chart. Now we've got to think, is the old crop overvalued, or is the new crop undervalued? At the present, the charts are saying to us that the old crop would be on this basis, would be looking as a sell, because obviously it's below the 60 SMA and it's broken support level. On the new crop, having said that, on the charting based technical basis, it's still holding above support and above the 60 SMA. So my feeling is that the new crop will find support and hold at this level, and the old crop should be seeing as a selling opportunity. But the picture is not 100% clear. I'm not totally convinced with what what I'm saying at the present moment. I think we need time to look at this over the next coming week to see how this reacts, and if we get a bounce certainly on the old crop back up to this level, has this been a fake out below this swing low, and will we follow the new crop and hold that support? I'm uncertain. So therefore I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt, saying, look, let's look this time next week, see how they look, the old crop versus the new crop. If there is a bounce still on the old crop, I think possibly that would be looking as a selling opportunity, but I need that to be confirmed next week, and I'll put an update this time next week. Thanks.